Because if they could do it in our food, they could do that in anything. All right, they are at that level. All right. I hope y'all understand that. It says it could target black people alone. Skip other races, and it's genetically engineered to attack us. So understand. Don't think for 1 second. Don't think for 1 second that this, population control, but who they want to exterminate?
Right.
They want. There you go. They want to exterminate the children of Israel. So don't hold nothing past them. Go hard, man. Intro go hard. Pull that up. All right, read that.
Toxic chemical leaks.
Toxic chemical leaks. Hey, man, I know y'all been seeing this thing all over the news, man.
Right.
Yep. Actually, one happened today, and another fire broke out down in Florida, Central Florida today. Damn. All right, so let's get into it. Chemical disasters.
Breaking. A fire breaks out at a chemical tank in Oklahoma that leads to evacuations.
All right, you got video on this? All right, play that. Right. Now, if that was an isolated incident, you probably wouldn't think nothing of it. It's just that it's so many of them going on at one time. All right, let's go to the next one. The next chemical disaster.
Bring it on. Another train derailment, this time in Van Buren Township outside Detroit, Michigan, with one car carrying hazardous materials.
Right, Detroit's not too far from the big one in Ohio, but this one took place today. All right, play that. So another train derailment, and it did say it did have hazardous chemicals on it as well.
Have mercy.
Right. So I find this very suspicious.
You don't find that suspicious?
Very suspicious that all of these train derailments are taking place, and they just happen to have damn chemicals, right?
Right.
All right. What we got next? Read that.
Large 5-acre warehouse fire breaks out in Kissimmee, Florida. Hazmat teams on the scene monitoring air quality following reports the warehouse is filled with plastic potting materials.
Plastic potting materials. All right. So, yeah, look at that. That's in Kissimmee, Florida, Central Florida. This took place, I believe, early this morning. Right. All right. Is there another one? Or was that the last one? Oh, there's another one.
This afternoon, another train derailed in the Houston area.
You got to be kidding me. So I think it's 4 trains derailed within a week, and they all had hazardous materials on
The
them.
hell is this?
Read.
Officials report the train was carrying hazardous materials, prompting Union Pacific to monitor air quality at the site of the crash, according to the Splendora Police Department.
Okay, play that. Okay, so that took place today. All right, so now we're at the Arizona. I think this is Tucson, the acid spill. Scroll down. Make it bigger for us. We can't see it. All right, read that.
An Arizona highway closed in both directions on Tuesday after a deadly rollover that resulted in a spill of nitric acid. A truck carrying nitric acid rolled over on the Arizona I-10 in Tucson, Arizona, resulting in a spill of toxic materials. A yellow cloud could be seen as a result as far as half a mile away. An evacuation had been ordered for anyone within half a mile of the scene. On Tuesday, a shelter-in-place order had also been issued. The shelter-in-place order was reinstated on Wednesday morning by the Arizona Department of Public Safety for one for 1 million for a 1 mile perimeter around the spill.
We got video on this, right? Let's go to the next one. Should have a video. Yeah, play that. So this is in Tucson, Arizona. Bruh. This is obviously this is not a coincidence, man.
Damn.
All of this taking place in different locations, back to back to back to back. What y'all officers got on this, man?
What you got to realize, Cap, is we dealing with a person who thrives in wickedness, and he's gonna try to cover up everything he do. Give me that in Luke chapter 12, verse 2. The thing is, we know this Bible. The Bible said, God said that everything that's covered gonna be uncovered. Read that for me.
The book of Luke, chapter 12 and verse 2. For there is nothing covered that shall not be revealed, neither hid that shall not be known.
So understand, as we're witnessing all of this pollution going off in the world and going off in these different cities, we know who's going to be affected the most by it and who they're going to send relief to and who's not going to get relief. Look at Flint. Look at what happened in Mississippi. They've already showed us what they're going to do to the black communities after pollution hits somewhere or there's devastation somewhere. Our communities always get stuck with bearing the butt of the situation on our own.
What did you say?
We have to bear it on our own, Cap. We have to always come out by ourselves. So that's what we're witnessing happen. It's setting up right now. And if y'all trust in America, you're going to be damned to damnation.
All right.
Yeah,
All praise.
let me get a script. Give me
Hold on one sec. Before you get that script, I want to play a video. Bishop brung this out last Sabbath because of what you just said, Officer Elijah, about how it always ends up, all of this, it may look a certain way, but all of it's just to attack us.
That's right.
And just to show you, to support back at what the officer was saying, they got technology to make sure that chemical skipped the, okay. Get that video ready for me. But hey, Shalom caller, what's your question or your comment?
Shalom, shalom, Messiah Christ bless.
Messiah Christ bless.
Yes, sir, yes, sir. This is Brother Othniel out of D.C. camp.
Okay, hey, Shalom.
Yeah, I was going to chime in on the fact that, you know, we talking about these UFOs and things going on. I really think that I really want to know, like, what somebody else thinks about, you know, these UFOs. They're balloons. Are they filled with like something toxic? This every time they get hit, you know what I'm saying? That's a plus for the enemy. You know what I'm saying? This is my mind. You know what I'm saying? It's a plus for the enemy. Every time it gets hit, you know what I'm saying, some toxic stuff is coming out and it gets carried in the wind and it's contaminating the air this over here. So that's what I was just thinking about. That's what I had been thinking about.
Yeah,
so
there's
I was wondering.
I know, like a lot of us, we got different, perspectives, things like that. But one thing that's gonna help you, give me Isaiah 33:8. I think Isaiah 33:8. I think that's the one I want because Proverbs 3:5, obviously that one, and then this one too, 6, 33:6. Watch this.
Isaiah chapter 33, verse 6.
Go ahead, because we're living in crazy times, man.
Right.
All the chemical leaks, you got UFO sightings everywhere, you got pests, you got all this stuff going on. So it's real chaotic. That's why we got to make sure we stay in the Bible. This is the only thing that's going to keep our minds at ease and keep our minds straight and focused. Read what you got.
And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times.
Come on.
And strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure.
Right, that's why I was bringing out, even with the conspiracy theory, it matches up with some things in the scriptures, but at the end of the day, we can't be out here teaching that thing is fact. We really can't, we can't do that because only thing we can teach as fact is what we read in Matthew 24. These things are going to happen.
Right.
That's why we went there. I could tell you according to scripture, things like this going to happen. But when they say like what's up in the balloon, I can't tell you that. I may have my own opinion, but I can't teach it to you as fact. You get what I'm saying, bro?
Yes, sir.
Hey, all praise to the Most. I hope you understand that thing right there. All right, all praise. Thank you for calling in, bro.
Absolutely.
All praise. All right, hey, go ahead, officer. I know you was about to go into something.
Yes, sir. I was going to ask for Psalm 64, just to show you, like what officer was saying, and you kind of allude to that too, showing you Esau. Everything that they do it's very crafty, well thought out, and who they aiming at. Read that for me.
The book of Psalms, chapter 64 and verse 2. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity, who whet their tongues like a sword and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words.
That goes there. They shoot their arrow at who? The children of Israel.
Right.
Go ahead.
That they may shoot in secret at the perfect. Suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not.
They shoot at the children of Israel, and they don't fear that all these traps they're setting up for us. They don't think that God will avenge us. Go ahead.
They encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune of laying snares privily.
They have their communication. They have their meetings secretly, how they can destroy the children of Israel. Go ahead.
They say, who shall see them? They search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search. Both the inward thought of every one of them and the heart is deep.
Like, for example, Bishop brought that out too in reference of knowing, based on our DNA, based on so many different things that we have, they can have those chemical things. Who knows what these may do to us, specifically to the children of Israel, how some of us can drop and fall and die, and all that goes to what they are doing.
Excellent, excellent. Now, play that video. You know what video I want, right? Yes, play that video that goes with what both of the officers just brought out. Because if they could do it in our food, they could do that in anything, all right? They are at that level, all right? Play that for us, please.
I am the lab science director. I know a thing or two about food science. Now, what they have invented, when I say they, I'm talking about the genetic engineers, not only have they found a way to put these genetically engineered traits into food crops, they've now found a way to cause food crops to grow RNA fragments that can be specifically targeted like bioweapons to interfere with the physiological processes of targeted species that might eat the food. Now, this technology is called RNA interference technology. It's relatively new compared to GMOs, relatively new. It's being touted now as a technology to eliminate the use of pesticides, because what they're saying is they can cause a corn crop to grow RNA fragments that will kill the insects that eat the corn without having to use pesticides like toxic chemicals that overload the insect nervous system and kill it from nervous system breakdown and so on. This RNA interference technology is a pesticide technology, but it doesn't rely on pesticide chemicals. It relies on RNA fragments in the food. Now, what's disturbing about this is that this technology can be fine-tuned to target a specific race of humans who eat the food. I want you to follow me very carefully on this, because most people have never heard of this before. They've never heard of this technology. They don't know it can be targeted by race. Food crops can be engineered right now based on existing technology to cause infertility in black people alone.
Stop. So I hope y'all see that thing right there.
Wait a minute.
I hope y'all understand that. It says it could target black people alone. Skip other races, and it's genetically engineered to attack us.
Right.
So understand, don't think for 1 second. Don't think for 1 second that this, population control, but who they want to exterminate?
Right.
They want, there you go. They want to exterminate the children of Israel. So don't hold nothing past them. Hey, go to East Palestine. Let's get that one ready. So we're almost out of time for this one. East Palestine. All right, read that.
Health concerns grow in East Palestine, Ohio, after train derailment.
Read.
Health and environmental concerns are mounting in East Palestine, Ohio, after several derailed trains released toxic fumes last week.
Right. Toxic fumes last week, as you know. The train derailment, they had like a smoke cloud. I believe y'all got that. Let's go to the next article. Yeah, toxic cloud over Ohio after chemical leak. Scroll down. So it's an actual cloud, but it was the chemicals that was lingering over Ohio. All right, let's go to the next one. All right, play this, please. Play this.
One of the worst ecological disasters in American history. 5 days after a train carrying vinyl chloride derailed and exploded near the Ohio-Pennsylvania border, crews ignited a controlled burn of toxic chemicals to prevent a much more dangerous explosion. Thousands in East Palestine, a town of about 5,000 people evacuated, and officials warned that the controlled burn would create a phosgene and hydrogen chloride plume across the region. Phosgene is a highly toxic gas that can cause vomiting and breathing trouble and was used as a weapon in the First World War. Meanwhile, people's pets are dying left and right. This is the New York Post. Animals are falling sick and dying near the site of a hellish Ohio train derailment last Friday, which released toxic chemicals into the air, according to reports, sparking fears of the potential health impacts the crash could have on humans. One of the most disturbing aspects of this, there are fish that are turning up dead in the rivers. And this is miles and miles from the site of the crash. This is yet another major transportation-related disaster happening with Pete Buttigieg as our transportation secretary. Pete Buttigieg was given the job of transportation secretary because he's gay and for no other reason. It is no relevant experience. The only reason he got the job, and everybody knows this. And what have we seen since he took over? Historic disruptions in the supply chain, all flights across the country being grounded. And now we have one of the worst train derailments leading to potentially the worst ecological disaster in American history. This will prove to be the most disastrous diversity hire ever. Easily.
All right. So what do we see? We see that this is orchestrated. They're causing this on purpose. What y'all got?
All praise. The Bible is crazy, like in Christianity and our people, they don't understand that we have a people that hate us. We have a people that God calls our enemy. God describes somebody in this Bible that you got to attribute that attribute to somebody, but they would not do that. Give me that in Proverbs chapter 4 verse 16. Let's see what the Bible says about somebody on the earth right now so our people could wake up and realize, you know what? I never thought it was nobody. I always thought the devil was a spirit floating around here or somebody with a pitchfork in the tail. Read that.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 4, verse 16.
Read.
For they sleep not, except they have done mischief.
Understand, there are a group of people on planet Earth that don't sleep until they done had some people killed, till some people have died. That's in their makeup. That's in their DNA. That's how God created them. Read.
And their sleep is taken away, unless they cause some to fall.
That's what we keep seeing. The Tuskegee experiment, slavery, Jim Crow. As you continue to watch this happen, the Indians, they broke 400 plus treaties. Somebody got to die whenever you're dealing with a certain group of people on planet Earth. The Bible describes them.
Hey, real quick. What a lot of people don't understand. Do me a favor, go to the next article about the wildlife being affected by the chemicals in Palestine. Read that.
Ohio. Fish and wildlife dying up to 100 miles away from the blast site, causing water companies to enact emergency measures in the next state.
Go to the next one. All right, so it says dead fish and cattle being reported as far as 100 miles away. 100 miles away is showing you what? They dropped it in different designated spots because they know exactly what it was created to do. 100 miles away, you got cows and fishes popping up dead.
Right.
100 miles away. Go to the next one with the chickens. Watch this.
A woman 10 miles from East Palestine, Ohio, found all her chickens dead. If it can do this to chickens in a night, imagine what it will do to us in 20 years.
Right, and that's exactly what they want. Just like the Chinese virus, right? Some people got it and nothing happened to them, but think about now, 2-3 years later, people just dropping.
Right.
Just dropping dead for no reason. Never had heart issues, but now they're dying.
Right.
Okay, go to the one with the chickens. Go to the video.
So I walked up to the cage, and this is what I found.
Amanda Brashears was going to feed her 5 hens and rooster this morning when she discovered them all lifeless, practically in the same position, with no signs of a predator entering their enclosure.
I'm beyond upset and quite panicked because they may be just chickens, but they're family.
Brashears says her...
You know Esau ain't right. You know she probably doing something with the chickens.
Right.
But it's just showing you the cattle is dropping dead, the fishes, the chickens dropping dead. Obviously, this is one of those things where you may die 2-3 years later after this.
Right.
And they're just going to blame it on, oh, no, they had pneumonia and da-da-da-da-da.
Yep.
Now, this is strategic. And understand this, brothers and sisters. They have the technology to make sure it targets one specific demographic or group of people, and that's us.
Right.
That's us. That's why everything is going on today. All the wars, rumors of wars, is happening because of the children of Israel.
Right.
All right, understand that thing.
That's right.
The Palestine, not acid, but chemicals spill into Canada. pull that one up, please. Read that.
Update from Ohio, one of the residents of Canada. It's bigger than Ohio. I am across Lake Erie in the southern Canadian province of Ontario at Niagara Falls. And my family and I have had continuous headaches for seven days straight. We can literally smell the chlorine here in Canada. It's more than we're told.
Damn. So you see, so this happened in Palestine, Ohio. Now it's reached all the way up to Canada. That's farther than 100 miles.
Right.
You understand? Then they just did another one. It's not too far away in Detroit. And but you got Houston. You got, they know exactly what they're doing. Understand this is not a coincidence. Go to the cover-up. Go to the cover-up about people who's actually trying to report and do their job as journalists and reporters. Let's see what's happening to them. Well, this is the blackout, the media blackout. Then we're going to go to the reporters. Play that.
So this is Chernobyl happening in the United States right now. Those are the words being shared all across social media and around the world about a train derailment in East Palestine, Ohio, not far from where I used to live in Ohio. These are the words being said in China on social media in China and on Chinese television. But over the past 48 hours, if you turned on television in China or read social media in China, you would have seen amazing images of the Ohio train derailment that involved 50 trains. 10 of these train cars were carrying highly toxic chemicals known as vinyl chloride, among other chemicals we'll get to. These cars were burning for days, shooting highly toxic chemicals into the air, creating a dark plume of smoke that could be seen from outer space, by the way. Yeah, it was seen from outer space. And so this coverage could be readily accessed in China. And they're rightly saying or calling this America's Chernobyl event, where a town could permanently be devastated, people never coming back home again. This part of Ohio could be ruined for years, waterways ruined. We won't know the full extent of it yet, and we might not for years, by the way. And in fact, the word Chernobyl trending on Twitter this afternoon. Here it is. Hundreds of thousands of tweets all about Chernobyl. But turn on your television in the United States, and the coverage was and has been total silence.
So here's
on
the
this
thing.
story.
Here's the thing about it. This is a very serious situation.
Right.
That's gonna have, like, for example, when nuclear waste and toxic chemicals, like your child could be born with a deformity.
Right.
You know, these are the type of things now cancerous cells can start growing within inside of you. This is a serious thing, but America's like, okay, on to the next. To the next. There's a reason. There's a reason why they're doing this. Yes,
Yes, sir.
Let me get a precept.
Go ahead.
Give me Psalm chapter 50, verse 19. What you see going on here, trust me, the Most High God is not pleased with what's going on. However, he already made his mind exactly how he's going to do things. The Most High God is very strategic in his move.
That's
Read
right.
that for me.
Psalms chapter 50, verse 19. Thou givest thy mouth to evil, and thy tongue frameth mischief. Thou sittest and speakest against thy brother. Thou slanderest thine own mother's son.
Read.
These things hast thou done, and I kept silence.
Everything that you see going on here, the slaughter of the children of Israel, these chemical stuff that they do, and the water, we got a phone call.
Okay, we'll take a quick call. Hey, Shalom caller, what's your question or your comment?
Sorry?
Hey, Shalom caller, what's your question or your comment?
I have a comment.
Hey, okay, go ahead, bro.
Hey, how you doing? I just have a.
Yeah, I can hear you. You
Hello?
go ahead. You go ahead, bro. I can hear you.
Oh, I'm sorry, sir. Yeah, I just have a comment about the what's it called? This is brother Nahum for IUIC Detroit.
Okay.
So we had this. What's crazy is that about the deceiving elect in Matthew 24 and 23.
Okay, you go ahead, bro. Go ahead, man. Go ahead, bro. All right. We'll take the next call. Am I tripping?
No.
Okay. Do we have another caller?
Yes, sir.
All right, pick it up. Shalom caller, what's your question or your comment?
Hi, I'm actually wanting to call in in reference to the statements where they were just talking about the chemical losses and things with children. I actually wanted to call in because I actually am a part of that, I believe. I actually just went through an actual loss a few days ago.
Sorry to hear that, sis.
son. And I'm actually also going through some things with my husband as well. He's decided he wants to leave. So I wanted to just call in and just get some feedback on, talking about, I do believe Black people are targeted, because I didn't get any reasons to why, I did have such a loss. I got to use a 20-week loss. So, I am dealing with the process of having to bury him still. And, I'm also dealing with the issue with my husband as well. So I wanted to just call in and just get some insight and just some feedback, because it does feel like I don't know whether I'm coming or going.
Sis, let me ask you, how long you been in the faith? How long you know you Israel?
Let's see, I'm still new to this. This is still new. I would say now maybe about a year.
Okay. So understand this, sis. So you went through a miscarriage. Now you say your husband wants to leave you. Give me Sirach chapter 2, verse 1. Sirach chapter 2, verse 1. I know it's a lot on you right now, but understand this. When you come to serve the Lord, you're going to go through trials, okay? There may have been a point in time where you prayed for the Most High to show you something, and he's actually showing it to you now, okay? So watch this. I got a few scriptures for you, all right? Watch this.
The book of Sirach, chapter 2 and verse 1.
Go ahead.
My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation.
Right, prepare thy soul for temptation, meaning you're going to go through some trials, sis. Ain't no doubt about it. You can't get around that thing. Go ahead.
Set thy heart aright and constantly endure.
It says, set thy heart aright and constantly endure, meaning even through this time, I know you said you don't know if you're coming or you're going, but obviously the Most High trying to show you something with you said your husband. Y'all are legally married, right?
We're legally married.
Legally
yes.
married. Now, he wants to depart and go his separate ways. Does it have anything to do with this truth? Is it because you believe in the Bible now? That's why he wants to go separate ways?
I'm not even sure. We've had kind of some issues, and he's basically he's stating he's wanting kids, and this isn't the first miscarriage. We've had some miscarriages prior to that, so it is a struggle. This particular time, we actually thought that this was actually going to be a positive pregnancy, but like I said, it's a 20-week loss. So we didn't actually have to be having to bury a physical body. So it is a lot on both parts, but there's no support, basically. Basically, he doesn't want to hear about it. He doesn't want to talk about it. There's just no support.
Okay. Now check this out. Give me Sirach 37 and 12. Sirach chapter 37, verse 12. It says this is what you need to do. Wherever you are located, you need to find your nearest Israel United in Christ sanctuary, because you said there's no support. You cannot do it by yourself. Right. You need the support of the righteous. Okay? You need the support of the righteous. If he's going to jump ship right now, okay, it is what it is. But Lord's will, y'all could get through this and he could come in too. But at the end of the day, sis, you're going to go through some trials as soon as you decide to serve the Lord. Watch this.
The book of Sirach, chapter 37 and verse 12.
Go ahead.
But be continually with a godly man, whom thou knowest to keep the commandments of the Lord.
Right, whom thou knowest to keep the commandments of the Lord. Now, granted, you didn't know better. You didn't know better when y'all got together, but now you do. So understand this thing. God always commanded our sisters to be with godly men. There's a reason why. Watch this.
Whose mind is according to thy mind.
Meaning what? Y'all both want to serve the Lord and please God. Read.
And will sorrow with thee.
And will do what?
Sorrow with thee.
He'll support you. Go ahead.
If thou shalt miscarry.
If thou shalt miscarry. So understand this, sis. When it comes to miscarriages, it's not far-fetched. And understand that God is in control. Last script, Ecclesiastes 11 and 5. It's the Most High that allowed that to happen, sis. And it's not for us to understand how God does things, but it's for us to do what? When we're in our despair, it's our jobs to seek him even more, okay? And the Most High is allowing these things to happen so you can do just that. Read that verse for me, please.
Ecclesiastes chapter 11 and verse 5. As thou knowest, not what is the way of the Spirit.
Right, we don't know the way of the Spirit. We don't understand those things. That's for God, because God created us. We are the creatures. He's the creator. Read it again.
As thou knowest not what is the way of the Spirit.
Read.
Nor how the bones do grow in the womb of her that is with child.
Right. We don't understand how the babies form, going in from the seed and the egg, how that comes together. We don't understand that thing. Read.
Even so, thou knowest not the works of God who maketh all.
Right. And then one more, Deuteronomy 32:39. So at the end of the day, these scriptures should comfort you, knowing what? It's not for us to understand why God does what he does.
Right.
Okay? But understand that he is God and he can deliver you out of the situation. As a matter of fact, give me the one in 1 Samuel chapter 2, verse 6. I don't want the one in Deuteronomy anymore. 1 Samuel chapter 2. All right, sis. Give me verse 6.
The book of 1 Samuel, chapter 2 and verse 6.
Come on.
The Lord killeth and maketh alive.
Come on.
He bringeth down to the grave and bringeth up.
Read.
The Lord maketh poor and maketh rich. He bringeth low and lifteth up.
Verse 8.
He raiseth up the poor out of the dust and lifteth up the beggar from the dunghill, to set them among princes, and to make them inherit the throne of glory. For the pillars of the earth are the Lord's, and he has set the world upon them.
Right. So you're in a low point right now, but understand the power of God. You may be low today, but sis, you endure, you come amongst the brethren and the sisters, and you will get through this low point because the Most High has the power to raise you up from a low point. Sis, so never forget that thing. There is a God, but right now, sis, you do not need to be by yourself. You need to find your nearest Israel United in Christ sanctuary, and you need to go fellowship so you can lift up your spirit and you can learn how to serve the Lord the right way.
That's right.
Okay?
Amen. Shalom.
All right, shalom, my sister. All right. Let's get to let's, for the sake of time. Now we got to get the cover up. Give me that article. Give me the video with them shutting down the news reporters. Give me that, and then we'll go to topic 2. We're gonna go a little faster.
Yes, sir.
I don't want that one. Give me the next one. Yeah. Give me that. Play it.
You know, the fact that we're not seeing a wall-to-wall coverage on the vinyl chloride train derailment situation and explosion happening out in East Palestine, Ohio, is kind of insane because an entire town can't return home because the water is contaminated. The livestock and the crops are being destroyed, and reporters are being arrested. Now, reporters are being arrested because they're trying to follow up on this airborne toxic event and chemical spill out in Ohio that was due to the train derailment, okay? The train was seen with wheels on fire in Salem, Ohio, okay, at the Fresh Mart meat processing plant. Okay, it was 20 miles away from its final destination. Okay, thousands of dead fish and water are contaminated. There's dead chickens 10 miles out, and there's big problems in the Ohio River. Here's the actual footage of this reporter getting arrested.
All right, go to the, pause that, go to the last video. Well, yeah, this one right here. Play that.
A journalist was arrested after reporting on a press conference. Evan Lambert, a correspondent for News Nation, was reporting live from Governor Mike DeWine presser.
You cannot do this. I'm a reporter with News Nation.
When he was allegedly told to be quiet by officers on site.
Right. What was he reporting on? Remember, it says East Palestine, Ohio. That he was reporting on a situation with the chemicals, and then they told him to stop. He continued, and this is what happened. Go ahead.
Sorry, Evan. I'm sorry. Thank you, Sia. Roll over, sir.
After Lambert's live report, law enforcement tried to forcibly remove him from the event.
This is horrible. Can someone help me? Yeah, brother.
He now faces charges for disorderly conduct and criminal trespassing.
I'm sorry.
Governor DeWine has condemned the arrest.
All right, so you can take it down. So showing you, bro, they're trying to really keep this thing under wraps, but this is not on the magnitude of like 9/11 because of the fatalities, but this is like something like that should be high like that. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Just like the earthquake with Turkey, like it should be something like, hey, do y'all realize what just happened? People are going to be like messed up for the years to come. Right. But America's downplaying. Let's get to topic 2 real quick, and then we'll end today's show.
Shalom, Israel. This is Bishop Mattathias. I want you to know that you can view all our Sabbath classes live on IUIC TV. That's right, I said on IUIC TV. Download the app today. Shalom.
What is the nation? Nation is men leading by example. Nation is family.